The NBA offseason just became much more interesting as superstar LeBron James just informed the Los Angeles Lakers he will not be returning to the franchise for a ninth season. With the Lakers acquiring Luka Doncic for a swap with Anthony Davis, the writing has been on the wall for quite some time. The move totally blindsided James as they brought in their young superstar of the future that occupies a similar role as the 22-time All-Star. Prior to the start of the 2025-2026 season, James exercised his player option for $52.6 million to remain with the franchise throughout last season. James's agent Rich Paul of Clutch Sports made it clear to ESPN about James's aspirations heading into the future. Paul stated, "LeBron wants to compete for a championship. He knows the Lakers are building for the future. He understands that, but he values a realistic chance of winning it all. We are very appreciative of the partnership that we've had for 8 years with Jeannie Buss and Rob Pelinka and consider the Lakers as a critical part of his career. We understand the difficulty in winning now while preparing for the future. We do want to evaluate what's best for LeBron at this stage of his life and career. He wants to make every season he has left count, and the Lakers understand that, are supportive, and want to do what's best for him." Pelinka spoke about LeBron's future with the franchise, seeming to hint that the franchise would move forward after the 2025-2026 campaign without James.
If he was interested in extending beyond this year, are the Lakers interested in having LeBron James as part of the team?
Yeah, I think I've said before in a previous question, we would love if LeBron's story would be to retire as a Laker. That'd be a positive story.
The two sides were on opposite ends throughout the entire process. James and Paul were unwilling to take a pay cut to remain with the franchise. According to Brian Windhorst, after the conclusion of the season, James didn't make himself available for additional meetings with the franchise.
And the Lakers, as soon as the finals ended, they had a meeting with Austin Reeves and began the contract negotiations that ended up leading to him deciding to stay, bypass free agency and stay. And they, having these other talks, they reached out to LeBron, to LeBron's representative, to Rich Paul, and said, "We'd like to have LeBron back." Okay? But there have been no further talks. And from what I understand, the Lakers have not made an offer, but LeBron, from what I understand, as of today, when I got this update, LeBron has not, made himself available to meet with the Lakers yet.
On June 30th, 2026, it was officially announced that LeBron James' son, Bronny James' contract with the Los Angeles Lakers became fully guaranteed. 5 hours later, Rich Paul told ESPN that James informed the franchise he would not continue playing in Los Angeles and they could move on without him. Ironically, James posted a clip on Mind the Game podcast of he and Steph Curry speaking about teaming up with Team USA in 2024. Both James and Curry have expressed multiple times they want to play together at some point in their careers. James's next decision is being described as one based around his happiness and opportunity to compete for an NBA championship rather than one driven by monetary gain. The three teams he's been heavily linked to are the Golden State Warriors, Miami Heat, and Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cavs have some intrigue coming off of an Eastern Conference Finals appearance led by Donovan Mitchell and James Harden. The Miami Heat recently acquired Giannis Antetokounmpo to pair alongside Bam Adebayo. Adding James would bolster their perimeter attack. Also, James is familiar with both franchises, doing 2 stints in Cleveland and 1 in Miami. He was able to win 3 titles combined during his time with both organizations, respectively. The Warriors have many favorable conditions that tilt the scales their way. As stated before, both superstars, Curry and James, want to play with one another, and the opportunity has finally presented itself. Draymond Green opted out of his $27.7 million option to give the team more flexibility. There's also been rumblings of the Warriors trading for Anthony Davis to pair with LeBron James and Steph Curry. Davis, James, and Green share Rich Paul and Clutch Sports as their agency for representation. The three players also have very close bonds off the floor away from the game of basketball. A happiness-based decision would tend to lean more in the favor of the Golden State Warriors. As James' career comes to an end, one thing is abundantly clear. He wants to enjoy where he finishes his career, but also wants an opportunity to win another NBA championship. A franchise that once viewed him as their biggest rival could return to the NBA Finals with him on their side to make one last run at NBA supremacy. This time boasting both faces of the NBA over the last 20 years in the same uniform. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.